For the last 5 months, a reality TV star named Josh Sater has been transitioned from male to female publicly. He was wearing makeup, women's outfits and jewelry, painting his nails, the whole 9 yards, and he just revealed to the public that actually this was all a hoax. It was all a big social experiment, he says, he was conducting online to expose how gullible and delusional the left is. And we have a clip from his recent appearance on Alex Stein.
I kind of wish he had done this in like a white lab.
He was just on IRL,
he's a scientist.
And like the culture war before that. Here we go.
You want to know what's going on?
Yes.
Well, I got to be honest. For the last 5 months, I've been conducting a social experiment online to expose how gullible and how delusional the left is.
We love it, Josh. And now I'm so happy that you came on this program and you're so gracious to fly all the way here from Chicago to come speak with us and talk about how insane the world is that you putting on a woman face, I guess is that the best way to describe it?
Yeah, woman face.
You were accepted by some, you were demonized by most, and now you're saying this was all a ruse, this was a social experiment, and I know you studied sociology. Didn't you major in sociology?
I did, yeah.
So what you did is arguably one of the greatest social experiments of our modern internet age, in my opinion.
Okay, it's up there with Nikocado Avocado.
Yeah.
Yes.
Honestly, it's less commitment, though.
Yes.
Nikocado had to lose like 200 pounds for
Not
that.
easy. Not easy.
How is Nikocado a social experiment?
He said that he got morbidly obese and pre-recorded a bunch of mukbang videos to post online, making people think that he was obese, and then he did the big reveal at the end where he was like, actually, I'm skinny. I've been losing the weight for the last 2 years.
But he had been like...
He was obese, but he said that he became obese in order to...
Was there ever really an explanation as to what the experiment was?
The experiment was to show that people are gullible and they will just believe anything they hear. And Nikocado Avocado is always 2, maybe even 3 waddles ahead. He's always 3 waddles ahead of the rest of us. But, you know, this was a nice try. I just thought that this was a social experiment from the very beginning. I thought we were all in on it.
Yeah, I mean, there was some lack of effort on the facial hair.
He didn't grow out his hair. He kept his beard.
I mean, you're right, but that creepy Jeffrey got...
That's a good point,
what's his name?
I know who you're talking about.
I know who you're
TikTok
talking about, but
guy.
it's a trans activist on TikTok, if you're unaware.
He's awful, and he's
got the 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah, all the time.
So I guess it, like, visually, from a visual standpoint, it could have been believable, but I don't know.
The point is that it doesn't matter. You're not allowed to question it at all, and that's kind of the selling point for the social experiment, is that it doesn't matter how much effort you put in. You have to rigidly conform to what the social dogma is, which is to accept it no matter what.
Sater originally came out as a transgender woman in May 2024 and was greeted with a slew of death threats that he claimed made him, quote, fear for his safety all the time. He claimed throughout his faux journey that he believed people did not need to take anything to be a trans woman, referring to hormone replacement therapies or elective surgeries. And the last 5 months of his life have been a ruse to highlight how gullible the left is.
I mean, that's a lot of commitment to have to do all that.
I think a lot of trans women are turned on at the thought of themselves being women. Guess what? It doesn't magically make them women, he said.
It's called autogynephilia.
Yeah. He said, we live in a free country. You can do whatever you want, but don't make your fetish my truth. I don't have to accept it. I faked being a faker. I pretended to be a pretender.
Wait, does that
It's very
rule it
meta.
out? Does that rule it out then? If you fake being a faker, you're just not a faker.
It just cancels itself out. I genuinely just thought that everyone knew this was a joke the entire time.
It didn't ever ring true to me.
It didn't for me either.
But also, part of it is like we spend so much time every day reading and absorbing these types of stories that all you're really exposed to from the 9 to 5 workday.
Yeah, we regard everything with suspicion.
Is the worst of humanity trying to become famous in a lot of ways.
He said that when he first started his social experiment, he was met with intolerance, bigotry, and gatekeeping from all sides, including from transgender people and members of the LGBTQIA+ community. Because I assume they were all skeptical of how authentic he was being.
But aren't you supposed to be accepting no matter what?
You're
not
supposed to,
be skeptical?
to take people at their word for who they are.
Believe all women.
So he started this interview with Alex Stein with a full face of makeup, wearing a scarf with the transgender flag colors, and he had one of the staff on the show come and wipe his makeup off and unveiled his hoax to the camera.
A lot of work goes into such things.
I appreciate the creativity. I don't think anyone else would be able to go out on a limb,
When does this
make a
all-
fool of themselves like this.
What comes after this? Because we're in a moment in time. It feels like forever, but the last 10 to 15 years have been a moment in time.
Eternal damnation comes next.
What comes after this?
Smiting.
It only gets worse. One of the things that we were gonna talk about that I ended up moving to another day is like Lieutenant Dan and the life cycle of an online celebrity now, where the internet takes interest for about 8 seconds and then it all kind of implodes because we no longer live in the age of the ivory tower on the internet, meaning that the road to fame can be made on your own rather than through tastemakers like it used to be. You used to have a Hollywood agent or somebody who worked for a network, an executive had to make you famous. Now the internet uses irony and doomerism to pick their celebrities, and the life cycle of one of these is very, very short. Hawk Tuah Girl is the best example of carrying out your moment and really, really capitalizing on your success.
Good for her, by the way.
Yeah, she's handled it better. She has handled the process of instantly becoming a so-called niche internet micro celebrity better than 99% of the people who that has happened to.
I mean, she's become a meme, but she's embraced the meme to her own benefit.
Like,
in the way a Logan Paul has, right? Like, that's why she's working with Logan and Jake Paul's company. You can be critical of what it means to be a celebrity these days, and that's what most people would say when they talk about her. They say, well, all it takes to be famous now is to say something raunchy. It's like, well, yeah, in a lot of ways, I suppose that's true, but people have been making those claims since reality TV became a thing.
do you remember Bagel Shop guy, Phil?
No. Wait.
He was this really short guy who went on a rant in a bagel shop about how women don't like dating short guys. And this was back in 2019. I just sent you the link to the video, Brett, if you want to pull that up.
Yep, hold on.
But he also went on a major crash out after this happened to him, after the video went viral, and people found out he had a history of doing stuff like this.
Why is it okay
Here's
for
the
women
video.
to say, oh, you're 5 feet on dating sites? You should be dead? That's okay?
Who said that to you here? Nobody.
Women in general have said it on dating sites. You think I'm making that shit up? Everywhere I go, I get the same smirk with the biting lip.
This is not helping.
Shut your mouth. You're not God or my father or my boss.
No, but I am bigger than you.
Dude, you want to step outside? You want to step outside? Huh? I'm not scared of you, pal.
No.
You shut up, too. Just like, go ahead and attack me, Jake.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Bagels. I recorded the whole thing.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Like, he definitely started that altercation.
Yes.
That
Of
course
was
he did.
completely his fault.
Clearly.
The worst type of short man syndrome.
His name was Chris Morgan. I wonder if we're distantly related.
Now, is this what he does? Like, that's his shtick?
Well, I mean, they found out later on that he had a history of starting loud public confrontations, and it was sparked by his perceived harassment and slighting due to his height. So he was involved in several previous altercations around Long Island before this even happened.
This is where I once again give you your weekly reminder: never piss off a short cop.
I want to show one of Josh
that's
Sater's
true.
TikToks from June this year, where he was heavily committing to the bit and saying his thoughts about detransitioning.
Here we go.
Hey everyone! So I just wanted to jump on here. Sorry, I'm looking like a mess today. And address some comments that I keep seeing. I keep seeing things like, oh, she's gonna regret this. Oh, she's gonna change her mind in 3 months. She's gonna detransition. Seeing comments like that is really hurtful. My decision to transition was not an easy one. It was something that I made with the encouragement of loved ones and medical professionals, and it was not something that was easily arrived at. So I understand that I can't control what people comment or how they view my transition, but I would just ask that you think before you comment and ask yourself if what you're saying is productive, is it kind, and I think we'd all be a little better off if we just thought before we commented.
It's ma'am.
It's
ma'am. And you know what? I think that Josh Sater's psychological experiment on the public actually worked, because I'm looking at some of these comments and people were legitimately fooled by this. I see mostly women praising him in the comments, taking him at his word. One said, "Slay queen, you do you. Don't let people decide what's best for you." Another one said, "Love your eyes. Shape the brows and they will pop." They're giving makeup advice. Like, this is a bunch of women affirming someone who was very obviously trying to fool them, and he got the reaction he was looking for.
Yeah. Yep. This is the world we live in now, where there's no upper echelon of people telling you who and what gets famous. A lot of people blame Hollywood for all of the things that are going on now, and certainly they play a role. But this is happening all on its own without the help of Hollywood, just by giving everyone a phone and access to the same social media sites.
It is so shocking how gullible people have stayed, knowing that, you know, everyone has a phone in their pocket. You should be jaded by now.
I mean, how many times do you see a very clearly marked skit that's used as some type of commentary on the gender roles or things, or gender issues and things like that? Things where you see videos and you're like, well, that's very clearly not real.
There's an acting troupe that creates skits like that.
On airplanes.
In classrooms, and I recognize them at this point because they film so many of these skits. But every time one comes out, people repost it thinking that it's real and making social commentary based on it.
All the world is a stage now, and it's because the phone is in your pocket. I maintain the internet should have stopped before you had the internet on your phone with unlimited data. That's where technology should have stopped evolving.
I guess props to Josh. You're living your truth, King.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.